From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Daryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Friday, August 3rd, 2018. Silver is trading at $15.47 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,215 per ounce. Zencash is trading at $24, and the average price of Bitcoin is $7,365. Antiwar.com reports on Wednesday the 2019 National Defense Authorization Act, NDAA, included a lot of details above and beyond just spending $716 billion on the military. Two provisions were in the final bill focused on dealing with civilian casualties in America's assorted wars. The language requires the Pentagon to create a high-ranking civilian post at or above the level of an Assistant Secretary of Defense who would be in charge of establishing uniform processes on recording strikes, investigating reported casualties, reducing risk to civilians, and establishing a uniform standard for both acknowledging responsibility and offering payments to the families of victims. The other provision is in addition to the 2018 NDAA's demand for civilian casualty reporting. This new version clarifies the previous year's language, noting that the Pentagon never complied with the initial requirement, giving a report that was both late and incomplete. While the 2019 provisions go much deeper in trying to provide very clear requirements, the problem with last year's version raises the very likely possibility that the Pentagon is just going to ignore the language again. The creation of the high-ranking civilian post seems aimed at that, with an eye towards having someone to complain to when the reports don't arrive. The Pentagon's increasingly secretive attitude in recent months and their well-established policy of drastically under-reporting civilian deaths suggest Congress is going to have to go to great efforts to get such reports submitted. Zencash is the world's first private, distributed, and reliable platform for communications, transactions, and publishing. Zencash has the ability to use both transparent and shielded transactions, with shielded transactions using zero-knowledge proofs. Zencash features global governance with inclusive decision-making, reliable funding for continuous improvements, and documentation and wallets in many languages that are available for Linux, Mac, Windows, and Android devices. Learn more at zencash.com. UPI reports a group of 4 cities filed a lawsuit against President Donald Trump and his administration for violating the Constitution by attempting to sabotage the Affordable Care Act. The cities of Baltimore, Maryland, Chicago, Illinois, Columbus, and Cincinnati, Ohio, along with 2 individuals, filed the lawsuit in the U.S. District Court for the District of Maryland, alleging Trump violated Article 2 of the Constitution, which requires the president to take care that all laws be faithfully executed while they remain in place. Although attempts to repeal the Affordable Care Act have failed, Columbus City Attorney Zach Klein said that Trump has sought to sabotage the health care law through his words and actions since he took office. The complaint cites actions taken, including making it easier for individuals and trade groups to purchase coverage outside the law's insurance markets, threatening to eliminate cost-sharing reduction payments, cutting funding for those who help individuals enroll in the program, and using federal funds Congress dedicated to implementing the law towards making videos criticizing it. When you hear the word lobbyist, you probably think about greedy corporations, but not all lobbyists are the same. Some are fighting for the freedoms you hold dear. Liberty Lobby LLC is doing just that in New Hampshire, working hard to represent you, not some special interest group. You can help by going to libertylobby.info, where your contribution will give us the tools we need to ensure that your voice is heard. Reuters reports Native American tribes that tried to block the Dakota Access Pipeline during a months-long standoff with authorities in North Dakota more than a year ago are carrying on their fight in federal court in what they contend is a symbol of their ongoing struggle for tribal sovereignty. Danielle Tashina Finn, a spokeswoman for the Standing Rock Sioux, said, "People think Standing Rock has come and gone," referring to the site of the protest. "But we will continue this fight until we are heard and the world knows what happened to us." The pipeline, owned by Energy Transfer Partners LP, has been operational since June 2017 after President Donald Trump granted its permit over the objection of tribes and environmentalists fearful that it would pollute a waterway sacred to the Standing Rock and Cheyenne River Sioux. The pipeline approval, part of Trump's desire to increase domestic energy production, distressed Native people in the United States and Canada who were concerned that it discounted indigenous rights. The Standing Rock and Cheyenne Sioux sued the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers soon after Trump ordered it to approve the pipeline, arguing that the tribes had not been properly consulted. U.S. District Judge James Boasberg in Washington, D.C. is weighing whether the Corps adequately considered effects on the tribe before approving the pipeline. He is expected to issue his decision by August 10th. This has been FPP Radio News, online at FPPRadio.com.